Aloha, good morning. This is Karumbi Davis of Karumbi Realty International, and we have Geraldine back today.
Hello.
Good morning. I know we've both been quite busy, and the reason I thought we'd have Geraldine back today, actually we sit right beside each other here in the office, and she has been doing some amazing things. And something came through my email about a week ago. It was a client she worked with. Actually, it was somebody I knew for the past 20 years. And I said, Geraldine, can you help her? Because it required so much research and dedication, which I couldn't give at the time because I was busy on some other projects. And Geraldine took over for me. And I want to thank you for that.
Yeah.
And basically, this a longtime friend, client of mine had called, and she wanted to start a property development company with her daughter. And she went all the way from the leeward side of the island to Hawaii. I didn't know what she wanted to buy, how she wanted to start this development company. And she was just taken back by Geraldine's knowledge. And I thought it'd be fun for Geraldine to take us through the process of, you might think, hey, I really want to start investing in property and making some passive income, or, investing in my future. And Geraldine, with that, why don't you let us know the different kind of investments out there that are definitely still in the marketplace today?
Sure. There could be anywhere from short-term rentals. So we have identified specific zoning areas that allow for short-term rentals. There's the fix and flip, long-term rentals, and brand new projects in growing communities and multifamily.
Need. And then, I know some of the things you're like, if somebody was to buy a condo at a good price, what are some of the things you should consider before buying in a condominium, for instance?
The maintenance fees, any
Yes.
assessments going on in the building,
Yeah.
What's been discussed recently in the building, all those important factors, any recent renovations, any renovations that the building is planning. Very, very important.
Yes, and I mean, I'll just show you. This was a huge testimonial letter that Geraldine got from this particular client, and I know one thing she was very appreciative of was how you pointed out parking was really important with the unit.
It is.
Parking's a big factor. You may not need a parking spot, but somebody does. And also sometimes washers and dryers in the unit too, wouldn't you say?
Yes, that's important too.
Yeah. So because a lot of our businesses, I would say 60% listings, 40% buyers, when we're listening to buyers, what they're looking for, it really helps us even price our listings too, which is really fantastic. And talk about, I know you were looking at apartment buildings also for another client. And you're looking at apartment buildings anywhere, and multifamilies in Caron. I think you were looking at anywhere from the range from 3 million to 12 million. And based on when you were looking at those buildings, what are some of the pluses and maybe minus negative things people should be aware of before they indulge in apartment buildings or multifamily homes?
Yeah, so for sure, number one is you have to get their comfort level. What are they willing to risk? Number one, and how long is their holding period? That's important. Their price budget. A lot of times people are coming out from a 1031 exchange and they have a specific number that they're focusing on. And lots of times even the property that you're identifying, that particular seller is also looking for a replacement property. So a lot of things going on there too.
Yeah, and I think when I hear you work with clients, one of the things that I admire, you always get straight to the point. Well, if you sell, why, where are you going? Or if you're buying, well, what do you want to obtain from this?
Yes.
And sometimes we don't think about it. We just think, oh, yeah, I want to buy a property, but you haven't had those big questions asked. And when this client had sent Geraldine's testimonial letter to me, she was saying, your capacity to listen, always keeping the client's best interests in mind, touching base day, night, weekends, texts, emails. I mean, just 24/7, because if somebody has a need, I always say being a successful real estate broker is like being a doctor. We're on call 24/7, wouldn't you say?
24-hour care for sure.
24-hour care. And talk to me, sometimes financing doesn't work out. I mean, I was just saying the other day, you'll love this, I've been fortunate to deal with a lot of properties where it's cash offer, right? And I've had a couple of listings which were a little more complex. And I thought, oh my God, I really love cash, because banks are not that kind sometimes when the properties have a little bit of craziness going. And why don't you share with us, because you were in a situation with this particular client where we couldn't get conventional financing.
Correct. There's no way this client would be able to get conventional financing. So I was able to identify a fix and loan program for this client. So that worked out. And
was it a lending institute, or was it what they call hard money, where there's people out? Private money.
Yes, involved. Yes.
So Geraldine does have sources, and we do, where people are actually lending out money for people. And what would you say the interest rates range at those loans right now?
10 to 12.
10 to 12% right now. Wow. Yeah, but still, if it means appreciation, it's just, again,
Yeah, and we're talking about a client that can't show monthly income. They're retired, or they just have hobby jobs.
Yes. And also, I think it's so important in this day and age to be aware of the finance markets. I just got an email from a friend of mine who works at Morgan Stanley, and now you can get 4.5% on your deposits there right now.
Nice.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to catch up with you on that. And there's a different loan program available too. So we're always sharing out there what's available out there. And I know I was talking to another mortgage broker, and I said, what makes you so successful? And he just definitely knowing products, knowing what's available, and being able to really sort of, as they say, dance around things and figure it out. It's just not, oh, here's a mortgage, here's 20% down, you've got a loan. Things are way more complex these days.
It is.
But it's out there. Don't just think because you don't have the down payment, or maybe your financing isn't in as tip-top shape as you want. There's always a way out there. There's definitely a way. Anything else in terms of investing in property in Hawaii?
Well, so like this most recent one, it was a fix and flip. So anyone thinks about, oh, I can just buy a property and fix it up, but it takes a lot of guidance from a professional advisor like us. So we definitely give our client professional guidance. So we truly walk them through the process. So we help filter through. All investors, especially when they're in fix and flip business, they have extensive laundry list of considerations that they have to go through, and we help filter through those, keeping in mind their price range, their budget, how much they can afford in total, including, renovations and purchasing the property, So evaluating properties is a process, and we have the patience for that, and we like what we do.
We love what we do. I know we're tested many, many times over.
Yeah, and we're constantly examining the conditions of the market, because it's always changing. So we are in touch with the market 100%. This is what we do full time.
Yeah. And I think it's really, I think I've mentioned this several times, that every week we look at our vendor list, which includes contractors, handymen. And we know the guys that will give you the best price. We know the guys that will do the quality work. Really, really important. So we have, when you're selling an investment, you pretty much have to have a range of what things will cost people, right?
Correct. And, you point out what would be important for them to change in order to add value to the property.
Great. Well, on that note, if you are thinking of, wanting to, even buy a property for your children down the road, or an investment to remodel, and I always say you can put your money in the bank and make interest rate, but this way you could make a rental plus, on average, I think Doug was saying 5% return annually. If we took an annual over the last 40 years, you're making that return on the property, which is huge. But thank you. And then, of course, we're going to share Mary Ann's photos. It's always the theme is Easter, of course. Happy Easter, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful weekend with your family. And what she's done here is Easter-inspired Hawaiian style, and, lovely lavender, bellflowers. And here we go. And then, of course, she has the plumeria, a trio of plumerias, absolutely stunning. And a bouquet of plumeria. Yeah, so but of course, here we have the Easter chick.
So cute.
The little chickies. Anyway, happy Easter. Until next week. Much mahalo for joining us today. And thanks, Geraldine.
You're welcome, Caron. Thank you.
Thank you.